Like or subscribe, or suffer the consequences.
Game of Thrones. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about House of the Dragon. I'm merely going to be viewing this as just a premiere. My thoughts on a premiere, my hopes for the future of the show. What did I think initially? Characters, basic stuff like that. This is a concept video. I just want to try out a new thing. So I do not need to regale us with the tale that was Game of Thrones. We all know it. We all still feel the sting that D&D left on us. But I did not allow this to tarnish my view of this new show. The people working on House of the Dragon, this is a new team. They want a chance. Give them a chance. Just let them prove themselves. That's what I wanted to do. And so far, I think they've done a pretty good job. We're only one episode in. We'll see if they can keep this up. This is a very promising premiere. The story of House of the Dragon takes place nearly 200 years before that of Game of Thrones. So we have completely new characters. None of the characters from Game of Thrones are anywhere to be found. The only similarities are the family names that carried on through the generations. And that's about it. I know House of the Dragon is based on Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. So at least we won't run into the same issue that Game of Thrones suffered from. We have the book. Book's done. Show's begun. We will not be running into that issue again. I don't see how we could. Looking at the premiere of this show is really fascinating, comparing it to the premiere of Game of Thrones back in 2011. Just look at how far we've come in terms of scale and budget for a televised series. The opening shot of one of the main characters is on a dragon, which we don't get any VFX at that level until way later, at least season 5 of Game of Thrones. So we're already starting at a different scale. There's an episode in season 1 of Game of Thrones where they're having a tournament in King's Landing, and the scale compared to the tournament they show in this is so funny. I know they're supposed to be taking place in the same exact location. I don't know if it's the exact same tournament arena, but it is very funny to see the scale comparison and the change over time of budget. The plot of this is interesting. I'm not hooked yet. The first episode did not hook me the same way the first episode of Game of Thrones hooked me. But there's threads that I'm interested to follow. I like Rhaenyra. As soon as she appeared on screen and looked at Alicent, me and my wife looked at each other and just went, "She gay." Hopefully that's not queerbaiting, but we'll see. All the characters are interesting. The threads they left for the plot is interesting. You have King Viserys, who is struggling with not being able to produce an heir for the throne. You have his wife, who's struggling to give him a son. And the whole plot of the first season leads into a incredibly graphic and disturbing pregnancy scene. Oh my god. So disgusting and upsetting. And it being intercut between the actual tournament battle going on was really great editing. This and Game of Thrones both have had great editing. The pregnancy being intercut with the tournament is great. And the editing's just, it's superb. It's great. They've always had great editing. But the threads are interesting. They've not really hooked me in too much. Seeing Prince Daemon as a character, I'm not really sure where they're going with him. They could be leaning villainous, they could be leaning a bit of the gray in between, I'm not too sure. Matt Smith is giving a really good performance, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing from him. Although I cannot bear to look at him. Man, that wig. I don't know if the wig's bad or is it just his head, but he looks like a blonde potato. Sorry, Matt. All the VFX looks really great. The first shot you get of a dragon looks superb. That they've never had an issue with that since the last few seasons of Game of Thrones. They've always been great with their VFX. It's always looked good. It's always been well integrated. Never had a problem with that. It all looks great. And I swear for a second, when Prince Daemon touches his hand against the dragon's head in a later scene of the episode, I swear it's practical. It looks practical. I'll have to take a look at that again. But it looked real. Maybe VFX just got that good, but I swear it was practical. It looked like they were tangibly touching something. Performances all around were really good. I enjoyed all the performances. Nobody's slacking around here. They're all doing a great, superb job. It's funny talking about the show before it came out, because everybody I'd ever talked to about, hey, are you excited for that new Game of Thrones show? Just goes, ugh, I'm sick of Game of Thrones. My view was skewed by talking to those people because this was the biggest HBO premiere ever. I am concerned if I will get disinterested if it's all in King's Landing. I do love King's Landing. I think it's a really great, excellent location for filming and having plot lines out, but I feel like it might get a bit samey. I'm not sure how far they're going to branch out. It's not like Game of Thrones where you have stuff going on in Essos and Westeros and Dorne and different locations and the Wall. So far it's just King's Landing, so I'm intrigued to see if they push as far. They don't have to go as far, just a few locations thrown out there, because I think King's Landing might get a little stale if we're just stuck in the Red Keep the whole time. But other than that, I am surprised I liked it as much as I did. I was not worried, I was skeptically optimistic. And I'm pleased to say that it's pretty good so far. Like, I think it was a great premiere. A lot of people watched it. Very interesting characters. Everything looked good. It had enough to just get us going. I'm very excited to see what they do with the rest of it. So thanks for watching. This is my thoughts. I'm not going to give a rating because it's one episode. Why would I do that? I'm just going to wait till the season whole. We'll see how it goes if I talk about the whole season. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video and want to see content just like it, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. I will catch you next time.